This may turn out to be a major big deal. So far, it's a big deal. The Electronic Frontier Foundation has been trying to. Well, actually, let's get Trevor Timm on, and he can tell us all about it. He's an activist and blogger with the Electronic Freedom Foundation. EFF.org is their website. He's also the director of the Freedom of the Press Foundation. Trevor, welcome to the program.
Hey, thanks for having me.
So up to this point, what had you all been trying to do that the government had been thwarting your efforts, and how?
Well, for about 6 years now, we've been suing over NSA warrantless wiretapping. You know, this kind of started back in the Bush administration. Back in 2005, the New York Times won the Pulitzer Prize for revealing that the Bush administration had been illegally, warrantlessly wiretapping American citizens with the help of telecommunications companies like AT&T. Right. So we filed one lawsuit, the government against AT&T, and the government passed a law that actually gave the telecom companies retroactive immunity. And so they actually passed this law specifically because of our lawsuit. And so that ended that. But then we decided to sue the NSA directly over this program, saying that it violated people's privacy, their First Amendment and Fourth Amendment rights. And up until now, they've been actually arguing, despite the fact that it's been in all major papers, that it was protected by the state secrets privilege, which is this controversial legal maneuver where basically they're saying that even if all of the allegations in our lawsuit are true and that the government has violated the Constitution, the judge should dismiss it before hearing the evidence anyways, because it might hurt national security. But thankfully, because of these additional releases, the government has been admitting more of this.
You're talking about Ed Snowden's stuff.
Yes, exactly. Edward Snowden's revelations from the past month have really confirmed all of the allegations that we've been making for the past few years. And so a judge just ruled this week, actually, that the government could not use this state secrets privilege to prevent our lawsuit from going.
Because it's not a secret anymore, because Ed Snowden spilled the beans.
Exactly. So we might finally get an answer as to whether these programs are unconstitutional or not, which the government has been trying to block for 6 years now.
That's remarkable. So what kind of judge at what sort of court just tentatively ruled in your favor here?
So this is the district court in Northern California, where EFF is based in San Francisco. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure
this is part of the Ninth Circuit?
Yeah, part of the Ninth Circuit, and I'm sure the government may appeal to the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals. So, I mean, there's still a large battle in front of us.
Right. They'll appeal it to the full Ninth Circuit, and then if you win there, they'll appeal it to the Supreme Court.
Exactly. We're probably looking at, if we're to win this case eventually outright, we're probably looking at 2 trips back and forth to the Supreme Court. So, it was a small step, but it was definitely a huge step in the right direction.
And it also tells us the value of whistleblowers in letting us know what's going on. I mean, I have yet to see any evidence, and I don't think that anybody has presented any evidence that's convincing. And in fact, several members of Congress have essentially said the same thing, that Ed Snowden has compromised national security. He might have embarrassed the administration and some of the agencies involved. But what he did do is which is what he said he was setting out to do, is he has helped create a more transparent government. And you guys are living proof of that. Exactly.
You know, it can't be emphasized enough how much we've learned beyond what Edward Snowden leaks have shown us. You know, his leaks have shown us what they've actually been doing, and they've been very helpful for our lawsuit. But just the response to the leaks, that the government had to start admitting additional information, that companies now have to start being more transparent as well, and that now the secret FISA court, which issues all of these surveillance rulings, now is hopefully going to start publicly releasing all of these secret surveillance opinions that kind of reinterpret the Fourth Amendment. The Obama administration. Really? Yes, I mean that's the hope. We've had a lawsuit involving the Freedom of Information Act trying to get these opinions released, or at least summaries of these opinions.
Have you been able to find out even where the secret FISA court meets or who's on that court?
Yeah, actually, EFF was the first organization to have a public motion filed in the FISA court. This happened just a few months ago, and ever since, there have been now a few companies have done so. The ACLU has done so, and so finally this huge national security secrecy apparatus is starting to show some cracks. And obviously, what we're asking for is just simple transparency, and nothing radical. The idea that the government can hold secret interpretations of public laws and can secretly interpret the Constitution in a way that affects all of us, yet only a very, very small percentage of the people can actually read these opinions, is kind of the opposite of democracy, and that's what we're really trying to fix here.
Quite. Has the Supreme Court ever ruled on FISA courts?
No. So the FISA court was set up in the late 1970s, and basically it complied with the Fourth Amendment. All it did was it allowed the government to go before it, and they would approve or deny specific wiretap requests.
Right.
And so in 2008, when the FISA Amendments Act passed, this was in response to the Bush's warrantless wiretapping program. Instead of fixing the problems, what it did was expand them exponentially. And so now the court approves these broad surveillance orders that affect everybody, and they're allowed to reinterpret the Fourth Amendment, and this is done all in secret. There's no opposing side to the government when the government makes their argument.
But isn't that the sole province of the Supreme Court? I mean, assuming that I'm not a fan of judicial review, and I think Marbury was wrongly decided, but nonetheless, isn't interpreting the Constitution the sole province of the Supreme Court? Any lower court that does that, it should be appealable to the Supreme Court?
Absolutely, and that's the problem here. There's no real mechanism to appeal to the Supreme Court. The Chief Justice, John Roberts, is the only person that nominates FISA court judges. Obviously, John Roberts has a lifetime term, so he's going to be, if there's one person that is affecting surveillance law right now more than anybody, it's probably John Roberts, and he's going to be doing this for decades.
He's a young guy.
So, even if people trust President Obama because they voted for him and they like him and they think he's a competent person, remember that it's the Republican John Roberts who is making the ultimate decisions here, because he's the one that...
Amazing.
You're listening
Trevor, we're out
to
of time.
Thom
Thank you.
Hartmann.